Welcome to Good Morning Hospitality, your one-stop shop for the latest news, noteworthy trends, and thought-provoking discussions across the industry. From hotels to short-term rentals to all things travel and hospitality, you'll find each episode equips you with the information that you need to start your week. Join us on Good Morning Hospitality every Wednesday, wherever you get your podcasts. Good morning.
Good morning, Sarah. Good to see you this Wednesday.
Good to see you too. It is.
It's a beautiful Wednesday. But I was telling backstage, you missed this. I almost didn't make the show today. I was very nervous. There was a giant truck fire on the highway that connects Miami Beach to Miami. And what normally takes me 15 minutes took me an hour and 45 minutes today. So I made it. Yeah, and that's just what it shows you. There's one way in, one way out.
Yeah. It. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. I didn't realize that happened.
I know. So, always fun, but I made it here for you all. I did not call out. I was going to do it from the car potentially, but
that would have been funny.
And who we got here? The California Lodging Investment Conference. Oh, thanks for watching. Good morning. Good to see you all here. Watching here live. And as always, let us know where you're watching from. We'd love to see all the different people from around the globe watching and joining us every single week.
Yep.
Anyway, how was your week this week? I haven't talked to you at all.
Pretty good. So first of all, California Lodging Investment Conference. Hi, Craig. Good morning. That's happening in the beginning of March. I'm sure there will be lots of details about that particular event that's going to be going on. Good week. Yeah, good week. I have been home. I have not been zigzagging around, which has been a nice change. Just getting lots of things in order. It's easier. My goodness, is it so much easier to get work done when you are actually at like your home office versus, I don't know, trying to get work done while you're on a plane somewhere. It's wild.
I know. I just have to go to some in-person meetings after this, and it's already stressing me out a little bit because I have so much work to do. You get used to doing the Zoom calls all the time and just being efficient without the travel.
Exactly. It makes such a difference. Yeah. I have a whole day of stuff after this as well. So here we go. It is what it is, but it's fine. I'm back on a plane tomorrow. So I'll be back in my normal groove, I guess.
Yeah, you go to where you're comfortable traveling the skies on Delta.
Yes. No, totally.
Right?
Totally. So, yeah, it's been a good week. What else? What's been going on with you?
I've got a lot going on. I can give a sneak peek.
Okay.
I've been working on this book we've talked about really for a while now, and Sarah, it's almost out. Here it is. First reveal.
Yes.
Hospitality Unlocked is coming soon. So that's all you get to see. But Hospitality Unlocked, the book I've been working on for a year, is going to be fantastic. It's all the advice and strategies and insider secrets of 75 of the top hospitality leaders in the world. So it will be a good book for all of you to have as a stocking stuffer coming up. Hopefully I get it out before the holidays.
Ooh, stocking stuffer. All right. Oh my gosh. Too fun. Well, I'm super excited for you. I mean, it is tough for anybody that has done a book. It is not easy to do. It is it's really not easy when you're doing a bunch of other things at the same time. It's a lot. So
schedule it like anything is kind of all right, if I don't schedule it, it's not getting done. So it's on my calendar.
This is true.
A couple times a week just to sit down, continue finishing it. So I'm excited to launch that and have it out into the world soon.
Yeah.
Anyhow, that's what I'm excited about. So
very cool. Very cool. Well, I'll share my stuff once it gets closer to the date and I'm able to. But awesome. Well, I'm excited. Well, by the way, whoever's joining us, if you're joining us on the live, let us know where you are joining us from. Always nice to see, which is kind of cool. But if you're ready, we can totally dive into the first.
Let's do it. We got some great stuff to share today.
Totally. Okay. So this first article that came out this week was U.S. hotel industry growth is forecasting for 2024 and 2025 revised downwards by STR and Tourism Economics. So basically, they've got some interesting points that they're putting out. So the 2024 forecast adjustments are the ADR growth reduced by 0.5%. it's now 1.5% plus. And the 2025 outlook is growth occupancy is projected to be 0.4% lower. So there's a lot of other things in this. What did you see in this particular article?
Yeah. What I thought was kind of interesting, they were saying that labor costs are going to actually go down. They expect this coming year. And so what that shows me, they didn't have any exact things, but just in talking to people, people are used to becoming more efficient. There's more tools they're using that, team members are able to do more things than they were able to before, whether it's AI tools or new software or technologies, or they've just gotten better at their jobs because they've been so short-staffed. They figured out ways to get things done. So the labor costs will be lower.
Yeah.
So that, after everything, EBITDA will actually be up, right? So even though things are going down on the top line, they found ways to save and cut costs in the middle that they can still generate higher returns at the end of the year is what they're forecasting. But I'm curious to see how this actually plays out, right? They're saying that the luxury hotels are going to lead the charge as always, because that luxury sector, they still have the money. The wealthy are still traveling and spending on unique experiences like we talk about. It's more in the middle class, how they're going to be traveling and where they're going to be staying. And we've talked about it. They're staying at places that are a little less expensive. They're staying at places that are extended stay. So interesting to see these reports come out. And in talking to some leaders, they say they can't forecast lower, like the owners won't take it, even though some of them would like to. So we'll see what actually happens now that we have a new president announced, and we'll see how the year goes.
Yeah, should definitely be interesting. Yeah, this was a particularly cool article. We should probably share it because it goes into a lot of details. And yeah, I mean, it is. Thank you for breaking it down like as you did, because it is interesting how despite these slight changes, they're actually still anticipating the annual gross operating profit is going to be about the same. So
you say tech stack and other efficiencies. I agree with you. That's what's happening is they're getting more efficient. They have to, because the people, they still have all the openings. Still a lot less people working in hospitality these years.
Totally. So interesting stuff. So we'll kind of see how that ends up looking as we kind of move forward. So definitely pretty cool article. All right. Viceroy. I like this. Viceroy is sort of rebranding in a sense, but they're really focusing on storytelling through experiences. I mean, we've talked about this, like everybody's really been double downing. I mean, we're almost like, okay, we're enough with the word experience because we've heard it so much.
What kind of experience?
Like experiential, but it's interesting that they're really kind of looking to do this sort of comprehensive rebranding strategy, and it's, I mean, experiential, but really sort of like emphasizing the authentic, which is great. I mean, again, I feel like if you are a property or even not even a hotel, even if you're a restaurant and you are not tapping into the local like local authentic voice, you're missing out on so much, because that's what makes you unique and stand out.
I like seeing this. I like seeing what they're trying to do. So Viceroy, I worked for Viceroy. Oh, and Alan here talking about the cost of supplies and food. Alan and I worked at Viceroy Hotels. So Alan, good to see you watching your lives. And Viceroy was a very cool brand. It just was always trying to find its footing. So now that Highgate has purchased Viceroy, I'm excited to see what they'll do with it, because it's kind of like a cool, ultra high-end name brand that I work for. When I was there, they just couldn't break through. So I think by doing this, like really focusing on getting very detailed and local and bringing in people to have that experience, I think could set it apart. Because a lot of people say they do that, but very few actually execute on it. So like we could stay at a hotel, but am I actually going to meet a local glass blower like they have here? Or are they going to have the beekeeper here so I can go make my own honey and do these things? Like we see that at some of the like Blackberry Farm and some of the unique inns and historic places that, we've learned about, but I haven't seen like an ultra high-end luxury hotel do that. So I'm excited for Viceroy, because it's a brand that I really think could take off if they really nail it, because it is such a cool vibe to it. I think that they could really nail it.
It's so interesting because again, it depends on the market that you're in. It's like I actually thought that they had more properties than they did, just because of how they're run and because of certainly, the properties that I know that are here in the Los Angeles area, and seeing it in other larger markets. So interesting. It was interesting to see that they are still rather intimate in size. So it is exciting because they'll definitely be looking to expand their portfolio for sure. And just do like a bit of a refresh, which I think is great, by the way. I think so many brands should be paying attention to this. And when it makes sense, they need to be doing that refresh, whether it's a visual refresh of different visual elements, or double downing on their experiences like this. They're really double downing on quality, local experiential features. So I think that's really, really neat that they're doing this.
Yeah, I'm excited for them because they were here in Miami. Then it got reflagged as a W because they had some financial troubles. But now they have a residence coming back to Miami, so right across the street from where the hotel was. So it's cool just to see what's taking shape and how they're doing it. So I'm cheering you on, Viceroy. I want it to be cool. I want to go again. I'm excited to see what you all create.
Same. One of my first hotels that I worked at here in Los Angeles became a Viceroy after I had left and I wasn't working with them anymore. So definitely a lot of great ties to them. This will be cool. So yeah, interesting stuff. Well, why don't we talk about what's going on with travel, a little bit of a broader topic here. The big one of this week. Should anybody be surprised? Spirit Airlines filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Oh, look at you. Boo.
Raining over here.
It is, but is it though? Is it?
No.
So the filing just has come after the collapse of the merger talks that were happening between JetBlue and Frontier Airlines. So they continue to plan operations. I mean, they're going to continue operations, but they're restructuring the process. So hoping to emerge from bankruptcy in early 2025. But interesting. What are your thoughts? I think
it's tough. We see how expensive it is to run an airline.
Oh my gosh.
And they are, the bargain, flyers out there, and they tried to merge to get, I'm sure, some security. That was probably the talks going on, and they got blocked. So this is their next step. They have to survive somehow. So they're going to restructure, but the losses were big. They couldn't cover what they needed to cover. They were able to secure a $350 million equity investment and $300 million in debtor and possession financing to support operations. So, they're going $650 million. They got to turn it around, or this might be their last gasp as a company. Someone will either buy it or they're going to survive and make it happen. But they always trick me, right? Like I always see, like I'm going to fly somewhere, $99, but then it's if I want to choose my seat, $25, and my carry-on is another $50, and then this is another $99, and then it turns out to be cheaper flying on Delta or on American. So I've been avoiding them. So that might be another thing that they got going on.
Well, I mean, it's a huge thing. I mean, it's a classic. I mean, look, I feel horrible for any large company to have to file bankruptcy because whether you love them or not, they still employ people, and they employ a lot of individuals. But
I see what Jim is saying. So Jim says Spirit definitely belongs in the RIP column. Just horrible flight experience. Listen, Southwest is good. I still got to get an Aer Lingus with you, Jim. So we'll figure that out one day. But I agree. Spirit is tough. It's tough. Like I know people look for a deal, but it's rough.
And that's the whole thing. To Jim's point, and we all know, I mean, Spirit has a reputation and not a good one. And so, I mean, I think, and I sure hope that in their sort of restructuring and rebuilding that they work on that, and they work on the guest experience. And I mean, they're obviously still going to be a budget airline, but like, how can you be a budget airline, but still deliver something that's worthwhile? It's like,
I don't think how budget it is. I think it's really not. Like, when I look at it, unless you're flying with no bags and you're single person going, because you can't sit with a family, you have to choose. You got to pay up. All of a sudden, you're as expensive as others, but you're getting way worse quality service. So there's something way off on it just because of me trying to fly them the last couple times. I haven't got on the plane because it doesn't make sense.
I mean, the one time I remember flying them, I was going to a family event and I had to fly red eye, and I got stuck in a seat that didn't recline. And it wasn't like, oh, it was a seat before an exit row or something like that. It was something else. And I was just like, okay, this is like,
hold on. Are you reclining in your chairs?
Oh my gosh. Yes.
I couldn't do it. When I flew from Miami to the San Diego flight, I couldn't do it. It was like no space. And then when somebody did it to me, I was like in my jaw. And so it's just like, I don't know. I felt bad. I'm too nice.
I mean, first of all, it is so minor, but it's like if everybody for an overnight flight.
Oh, I'm not doing overnight. I did like today, and I was just like, man, this guy.
Yeah, during the day, I don't normally recline. I mean, it's not that.
And it was a long flight. I was just thinking about it, like, why even have this button here? I can't recline. The person behind me is going to get pissed.
Yeah, but like they have to have the reclining. Oh, I know. Oh.
Well, we got Christopher, who won't even take Spirit. He said, just based on their reputation. So there you go. There's one person who's not going on.
Case in point, like they have a reputation problem. I think it's so interesting that so often people are trying to move the needle and they're not focused on the product. Like, you know, no amount of marketing or whatever can make a difference if the product isn't there. Like what do you? So yeah, I mean.
Well, I like Jim. Jim, you're convincing me here. The nickel and dime approach. Steve, you need the Aer Lingus experience.
Oh my
God. The Irish crew. Let's go.
Oh my gosh, Aer Lingus, too funny. You guys are really excited about
this episode sponsored by Aer Lingus.
I wish. I've never flown Aer Lingus myself. So one of these days, I'm sure. Yeah. So anyway, I mean, it shouldn't come as a big surprise to people, but that is big talk of the town in the world of travel. Good old Spirit Airlines. We'll see how they come out of this.
We do need a bargain flight here in this country, and it does serve a lot of people, but they got to get it together.
Speaking of, have we heard what's going on with Southwest when they broke the internet with their thing where they're going to change the boarding process?
They haven't started. I think I saw something where they're like holding off.
Yeah, they should hold off. They should definitely hold off. So these airlines playing around with certain things that are just part of their core identity.
Just get us there, nice, clean.
Just get us there. Yes, safely, please. So speaking of all this travel, next week, if you are based in the United States, it is Thanksgiving. It's a big holiday. And you fly daily. Yes, I know I have no excuse other than I just need
to go to Ireland.
Exactly. I'm definitely familiar with that. One of these days I'll make it over there. So yeah, with it being the big Thanksgiving holiday, it's travel. Everybody knows. By the way, I will. But before we get into this, I have to just share. So I always go visit my family for the Thanksgiving holiday on the East Coast. And over the past years, I've talked, and I've even done news segments where I talk about how my flight to Allentown, Pennsylvania, cost $1,400, and a flight to Paris cost $900 or whatever, so this year I booked my flight, but I've been doing a lot of stuff where I've been doing like booking for my mom, and I ended up booking my flight, and I went to go check it this last Saturday, and I accidentally booked my flight from Allentown to LA. Not LA to Allentown. I was like, no. So I thought I had my flights booked for like the past month now. And I booked it completely incorrectly to show you that even somebody who travels all the time, they can still make mistakes. And so I canceled it. It was on points anyway, so it's not a big deal. Got those redeposited, and I was looking to rebook. If I would do the same flight configuration, the new flight, main cabin, $2,200.
American dollars.
Yeah.
Oh
yes.
That's crazy.
Yes, exactly.
See, that's what we're talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Traveling is crazy. Like now imagine you're going to fly with a family. So you're going to take $9,000 for a family of 4 to fly from LA to Allentown.
Totally. So now I'm leaving tomorrow, and my flight is the ticket's far less expensive. But yeah, like what? Like who? And this is a Saturday to a Saturday thing. I mean, obviously, I get that you have to be tricky with it. But if I would have done like shorter dates, I'm sure it would have been even more expensive. And that's just main cabin. Like that's just insane.
Well, let's give some stats here. So we're saying for Thanksgiving, we got a
Yes.
lot of people traveling. So they're saying 79.9 million Americans will travel 50 plus miles for Thanksgiving this year, up 1.7 million people from last year.
Yep.
So great to see. What else caught your eye here?
It was interesting is that they're also going to have more people are going to be traveling by car because gas prices have dropped overall below $3 a gallon. Not here, but below $3 a gallon. So more people are going to be traveling by car. Also, air just in general, travel's up across the board for this particular holiday. So air travel hit a new high with 5.84 million travelers. That's a 2% increase from last year. And yeah, even more people are doing other things. So they're traveling by bus, train, cruise.
Yeah, I like the cruise. It caught my eye because part of me is like,
Same.
you know what? That would be fun. Like to go on a cruise for Thanksgiving, just switch it up for a year. They're gonna have great buffets for you and entertainment. Like
I think that's
I can book a last minute one here. How long do I got? I'm gonna hop online and see if I can book a last
cruise demands. It's bookings are 20% higher than last Thanksgiving. Kind of into that idea. Not gonna lie.
I was one of my you're gonna laugh. One of my best Thanksgivings I've had recently. I was still working in the hotel. I created this beautiful buffet with my team. It was great. And I was lucky enough to be someone that was able to bring my family there. It was awesome. We had the best food and the team members are great and no cleaning up afterwards. And we hung out and watched football. Like, it was awesome. So maybe there's something to that. Maybe I got to do the cruise world and try that out.
I kind of like that. But I'm also all for non-traditional holiday celebrations. Like if you can break away from it. I also get it. Like sometimes it's like the only time that you're able to see your closest family, or you've got kids and they really love celebrating in a certain way, whatever that is. But I feel as though whenever you're able to do something different, it's awesome. I don't know.
Thanksgiving cruise booked.
Ooh, love that. Whoa, Jim's little comment here, asking if I could get a cheap ticket to Philly. No.
I like how they are travel planning for you, all of our audience now.
So by the time I end up trying to, first of all, my allegiance is to Delta. So there are no direct flights from LAX to Philly or to Newark. So I would have to do a layover anyway. And the price difference is most of the time not that much cheaper. So yeah, no. There you go. I put myself in a corner with my allegiance to Delta. All right. It's okay.
Yeah, hop on another flight. You'll be all right.
No, I will not.
Well, we were just talking about cruises. Tell us about this cruise that's coming up, Sarah. What do we see here?
My friends over at Margaritaville at Sea love this. They're going to do their very first dog-friendly cruise. It's going to set sail from Tampa in 2025. So it's going to be November of 2025. So you've got a year to plan for this.
Thanksgiving.
Train your dog. Exactly. Thanksgiving, go with your dog. They're going to have all sorts of fun things. They're going to have 250 dogs and their owners. This is insane. Costume contests, parades, dog shows. This is kind of fun.
I'm wondering, like, where do they go pee pee and poo poo on this cruise? That's the other one thing I got to think about as they're traveling around. Maybe some dog park style things that they got there.
Oh, I'm sure they're going to do that for sure. Mm-hmm. That's going to be fascinating hopefully no accidents, but yeah, they'll probably have little like pads like available for the rooms. And then they'll probably have that, the faux grass.
We're working on getting a dog as a family here. Right. And so I had a dog when I was a kid, but I haven't trained a dog as an adult. So now I'm curious how this would work, because of course we want to travel, and that's one of the things that we think about is, all right, how are we going to go with our dog as a family places?
Yep.
And this would be pretty cool to go on there. And I see people commenting, lots of pee-pee pads.
Yes, lots.
BYOK, bring your own kibble. I think so. But now I love it, because when you go to hotels anywhere now, like you're walking in shops, everyone's bringing their dogs everywhere. It's like a true part of their family. So this will be cool to see how it works. And then if you need special papers when they get off the boat at certain locations, or
Well,
a lot of questions I have for your friends at Margaritaville.
Yeah, they said they're going to have certain protocols to make sure that canine, the dogs are vaccinated and well behaved. So, which makes sense. They need to make sure that like they're all up to speed with everything. I'm curious how they're going to make sure that they're well behaved.
Yeah.
Oh,
Are you a good boy? Are you a good boy? Oh, you're
Stop.
a good boy. Okay.
Stop. But there's nothing that irritates me more than like people that have dogs that are just not well trained or they're aggressive to other dogs. I'm like, socialize your dog. I mean, work on it. Like,
yeah, how many of you out there have dogs? I'm curious that's listening here.
Yeah.
Give us a little thumbs up if you have a dog. Because here I live right by a park, and there's a lot of people, you're supposed to keep your dog on a leash, but they put them all off leash, and then they're not trained well. So then they start jumping on people, and people are doing yoga, and they like jump onto their mats, and not everyone loves your dog.
I don't understand how you can have like you can have a dog and they're just being friendly and they're jumping on a stranger. Like you don't know what the
be allergic to dogs or scared of dogs or something. There's a lot.
I just don't understand. Oh my god.
We see it in hotels too, right? Like people guests picking up, great, but make sure they're not running around. Like I had one guest that had a little Pomeranian that she let run around the breakfast restaurant. She said, "Oh, she's fine." I was like, "No, she's not fine. She's bothering all the other guests. Keep her in your lap or in your cage or wherever." Because it's a service dog, and I can't ask the dog to leave. So, yeah. Anyhow, out there, but I'll maybe be that guy here soon. But I will promise I'll keep him on he or she on leash when we get it.
Yeah, well, with proper training, you'll know what's going to be appropriate and what works for them. Yeah, but this will definitely be interesting. I would be fascinated to go on that cruise. Like, but I do love the programming. I mean, so
good
fun.
For them. I like seeing this. I'm excited to see how it turns out.
Yeah, definitely cool. Cool that they're doing that. So with that being said, you want to do our real-time recap?
Let's do it. So I went to it's a restaurant that I haven't visited here in Miami called the Henry, which is here in Brickell. And
I love the Henry.
Amazing. And they were so nice to my family and I, and the manager came over and they had seen the podcast and they were very nice. I didn't book anything ahead of time. So it was nice to see that they knew what was going on, and they gave us an extra dessert on them, and they gave us a great table, and the service was awesome. The food was great. The vibe was cool. Like if you're here in Miami, go check out the Henry restaurant. I'm a big fan of theirs now, and we'll be going many times.
Yeah. Oh, well, also if you're in Los Angeles, you should also go to the Henry. I think they have a location in Vegas, and they've got other locations. I forget where the other ones are, but it's one of my favorite go-to restaurants. I will say they had a salad. They used to have a salad on the menu that had halloumi cheese on it. And it was my favorite salad ever. And they took it off the menu probably about like 2-3 years ago. And every time I go back and I'm like, yo, what's going on with the salad? And every server, even if the server's only been there a month, they're like, I know, we've heard about this salad. Like we know. And I'm like, if you know, why do you not bring it back? Like, why bring it back?
A funny story here. I'm actually working on a project in Charlotte, North Carolina that needs a signature restaurant. So I'm pitching them. So I'm talking to their corporate office at Fox Concepts. So I'll put in a good word for you, Sarah. I'll say we need the salad back.
Oh my gosh. Definitely. My God, it was such a good salad.
All based off of my recent visit. That's how that popped in my mind. I wasn't talking to them before. So I was like, wow, this is cool. Let's see if they want to go up there. So anyhow.
Interesting. Yeah. I like that. Ooh, what has been going on in the world? I've laid low. I've definitely been laying low, and not necessarily just because I've been home, and I'm a bit of a hermit when I'm home. I do have. Funny that you bring up the whole restaurant thing. So I do have a restaurant that I go to. It's a cheesy sort of like hole in the wall restaurant. But it's cute because I've now gone there enough that they're starting to remember me, and it's cute. So now it's like we've gotten on like first name basis with some of the servers. They remember part of my order. I really like their baked crab hand roll. And it's just this reminder that I mean, I might as well say the name. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. The name of the restaurant is Volcano. It's nothing fancy. We used to call it Sushi with a View because of where it's located. You're overlooking the sunset part of the Sunset Strip. But again, super casual. You go in sweatshirt, yoga pants type of thing. But again, they've got people that have been working there for quite some time. The food is great. I've been there on Christmas Day. I've been there all hours. They do a happy hour later in the evening after 10 p.m. So shout out to them to just like making you feel special. Again, it's nothing crazy, but it's just having that human connection, and then you feel good going back. So
that's what it all is all about. I like having places that you feel like you're part of the fam. That's what
totally. Oh my gosh! Wait, Chris said that he never heard of halloumi cheese until last week. No, stop. You've not heard. First of all, you have not heard about it that many times in the past week. But yes, if you are into Mediterranean food, that is why you would be more familiar with it. So it is the food of my people. Whatever that is. Anyway. Oh, good. Volcano in Woodland Hills. I'm sure. It's great. So yeah, they have a couple.
Yeah, check it out. Volcano.
Yeah, check it out. All right. So there you go. That's our little real-time recap. What about our hospitality quote today?
It's a good one this week. I like it.
Yes. Do you want to say it?
I can read it. Absolutely. Let me get my reading glasses on.
Oh,
courteous treatment will make a customer a walking advertisement by James Cash Penney. And that's what we're doing here. We got the Henry and Volcano. We are a walking advertisement, all because they went above and beyond for us.
And think about that. So obviously we just talked about 2 restaurants that we all get. We all understand that. How could that apply to Spirit Airlines? Case in point. Being their guests being a walking advertisement, other than having a horrible reputation, and people just go to them just because it might be a quote unquote cheaper option or whatever. So interesting to see.
This was a fun show this week.
Yeah,
I like that. We covered a lot of fun things.
Oh my gosh,
we got dogs, we got cruises, we've got Viceroy making a comeback. Come on, Viceroy.
Exactly.
It's a good
Future
show this
forecasting,
week.
all of that and more.
Listen, it was always good to see you this week.
Likewise.
I have to run. We've got a busy day here of meetings, but should we gong out? I want to see what we're going to be doing every show. 2 weeks in a row.
Oh my gosh, I can't.